Hi Renegade. So finally a new state of the mission, and what a week. We have accomplished a lot in the last few weeks, and I just want to give you an update. So this week we finally implemented Google Pay. Google Pay. It's implemented. We already handed in all the documentation to Google. You have to do, record a video and show that everything works and how it works. And so we handed in all the documentation. That's going to take 2 or 3 weeks. Let's say, just to be on the safe side, 4 weeks. So in 4 weeks from now, Google Pay should be live. It will be live literally in the whole European Union. Wherever there is a user, we can get it live, because we will always need users to test it in that certain country. So that's pretty good news. And I think it's a big next milestone we've reached. And the next thing is Apple Pay. Apple Pay is live already, as you all know, in Germany. So we are planning the rollout for the next countries. The next countries will be Austria, Netherlands, Spain for sure as well. And then there's Belgium and France, Italy. We're still seeing, where we're gonna have them in the timeline. But the next 3 countries we're gonna make on board, get it live, are also those 3 countries: Austria, Netherlands, Spain. I'm pretty sure France as well. And then we will see, right? The problem is with Apple Pay, for every country we are gonna get live, we have to pay. It's not like that with Google. That's the big advantage of Google. But yeah, let's see. We're gonna keep you updated. I cannot give you an exact timeline, but we're not speaking about months. This is like a few weeks, right? It's we have to test it in every country, but that can be done pretty quick. So we're just waiting now for Apple to get back to us. We told them we want to have the next countries live, and so this is literally, quite a smooth and quick procedure. What else? Next week we are gonna have the token swap live. It was quite complicated to implement it, more complicated than we thought. But now we more or less fixed all the bugs. The beta testers are testing it for quite some time now. They know with what we have been struggling. That's going to be a really cool feature, and it's going to, making Renegade even more useful in your daily life. Another thing a lot of people are waiting for is that now we have started implementing Swiss and UK IBAN accounts for IBAN accounts for Swiss and UK users. It's already implemented in the backend, so now it's the front end part we have to implement. We've started this week. I cannot give you an exact timeline now. It shouldn't be a too big task, since in the backend everything is implemented already. All the endpoints are there, they're connected, this is working. So now we have to do the front end part. We have to do slight design tweaks and changes for the UI. Because obviously, Ostriga works a little bit different than InterGyro, but that's it. So it shouldn't be a huge task, since we can reuse a lot of code, it's the same logic at the end of the day. And I can, we expect the timeline from the developers next week. Once we have that, we will give it to you. So when we finally can onboard UK and Swiss users. Super happy about that. And then the next feature that is going to be live next week, it was planned for this week already. There were some unexpected bugs. We are going to fix it over the weekend. Our developers are going to work over the weekend to fix it. We promised it for this week, so we want to have it live next week. It's our Web3 card. It's going to be a Visa card that you can top up directly with cryptos. You don't need an IBAN account. You don't need it if you don't want it. The cards are available more or less globally. There are a few restricted countries, but it's almost everywhere it's available. The cool thing is that we are gonna make it available also to European users. Before we have been thinking, should we leave them out? They have the Intergiro card, the Visa or Striga card, provided by Intergiro and Striga. Or should we, make it live in Europe as well? We see that there is a need, and so that's why we will have it live in Europe as well. You can start ordering the cards next week if you want. Just for the explanation again, you are topping it up directly with cryptos. And yeah, you can connect, that's the cool thing, you can connect any Web3 non-custodial wallet to the card you like. I think that's going to be a really cool feature, and I can imagine that it's going to get very popular as well. Because I think there are going to be users in Europe who maybe don't want to have an IBAN account because they don't want to switch bank, and so they can still, but they still want to spend their cryptos, in their daily life. So this could be a nice addition to some users. And yeah, that's where we are right now. I hope this answers most questions. Oh, by the way, listing is coming up. And the launchpad, I almost forgot. So one launchpad is more or less confirmed. We have a curator. It's a pretty good launchpad, one of the best out there. And there was a call scheduled for another launchpad. It's now it got postponed to Tuesday. It's one of the biggest launchpads out there. Really good, one of super good launchpad, and they seem to be quite interested. So we can get a listing there. This will help us massively to grow. And after the launchpads, obviously there's the listing. We're still in timeline. It's still planned for mid-July, end of July. Could be beginning of August, but that's about the timeline, the time window where we want to have the listing. As you all know, we signed up with Bitmart a long time ago. And also, big news, we signed up with MEXC. I think it's a really good exchange, good trading volume, and we got super good feedback. And I think this is going to be the right move, a good move. A lot of people ask, or have asked, just for you to know, when we signed up, we agreed to pay everything in stable coins. We're not going to give away any of our token, because normally the exchanges will dump it pretty quick. We want to avoid that. Listing price will be 0.005. As I think we have already communicated it. It will not change any token, the amount of tokens users hold. It's very beneficial for everyone who holds a token now. It was actually recommended to us by exchanges. In the bear market, in the total bear market, when we started talking to them, they said, maximum, is 30 million market cap. Now, all of a sudden, bull run is coming up. Crypto space is resurrecting. They're like, oh, you can do 50 million. You should go for 50 million. So obviously, we're not going to say no. And we know there's the bull run coming up. So that's perfectly. I think we, by accident, found the perfect timing for a listing, and we couldn't be any happier about that. Also, we've got a new office, by the way. I think most of you have seen it already. Renegade is growing. We're not a baby anymore. So very happy about that as well. I hope I answered the most questions. I hope you're as happy about the news as we are, and we're really proud of our app, and I hope so are you. If there are any other questions, always ask them in the channel. We're planning to do a next AMA next week, or maybe the week after. And as always, having problems wrapping the video up. No, but see you soon. Bye bye.